Hi, I'm Sean Dickerson, the City Arborist for Evansville, Indiana, and a Certified Arborist. I'm going to demonstrate today how to plant a bare root tree. A bare root tree is a tree that has no soil around the roots, and is not in a container, and is not in a burlapped root ball. It just is bare root. Now you can get these trees for a mail order. Sometimes you might be able to find a local nursery that has bare root trees. But typically you'll probably have to get mail ordered, and they come in very many sizes. Some will come in half the size as this. Some of them will come this size. You can actually get pretty large bare root trees. I've heard that you can even get 2 to 2.5 inch caliper bare root tree if you go through the right nursery. Now I've already dug the hole so that it's 2 to 3 times the width of the root ball here, or the root zone. Now this is an oak tree, so an oak tree will have a good sized taproot. I've dug the hole where it's actually a little bit too deep, so I'm going to take some soil and I'm going to put it back in the hole. The one thing that you want to absolutely do is you want to make sure you break up any dirt clods as you fill in the hole, because you don't want the soil to settle unevenly. You want to settle nice and firmly. Now the bottom of the hole you want to tamp down very well. Also get rid of any rocks. Set them aside and get rid of those later. You don't want to put any grass clods in there either, because the grass can actually, as it deteriorates, it can actually make the soil somewhat toxic for new root growth. So that's probably about the right depth. Now what I want to do, since I got the tap root deep enough, now I want to start filling in around the sides, and I want to lightly pull up on the roots as I do that. Now if you don't have a taproot, what you want to do is create a mound in the middle of the hole and spread the roots out over the mound, and then lightly fill in the soil around those roots. But since we have a taproot, we have to do it slightly different, and I'm going to spread the roots out as I fill it in. That way we don't get any odd root growth. We don't want any odd root growth, because that can cause problems on down the road. Okay, all the loose soil has been put in. All the loose soil has now been put in around the hole, around the tree, in the hole, and now we're going to kind of smooth it out now over the entire root system of the tree. And one thing I want to do is I want to find out where that root collar is, which is right about there. I see a little root right there, and I want to fill in to where it just covers that root collar. But that's it right there. We also want to make sure at this point in time that it's nice and straight. Looks like I need to bring it this way a tad bit. And then I just want to tamp by hand. I don't want to use my feet, because a tree this small with such a small hole that was dug, we could overcompact the soil around the tree, and we don't want to do that. So I'm going to recheck the position of the tree, and that looks like that's pretty good right there. And it doesn't have to, a small little tree like this doesn't have to be perfect, because it will adjust itself as it grows. Now what we want to do is use some hardwood mulch to put in around the tree. I'm going to use cypress leaves. You could use regular leaves, you could use a multitude of different things. Most people usually use hardwood mulch. I'm just going to use cypress leaves, just because I like the look, and I'm trying to recycle some material that I have. And so I've added about, you want to stay between 2 to 4 inches of mulch. You certainly don't want to go any more than that. And then the last thing that you want to do is to water. And how do we water? Well, what I would recommend is using about 5 gallons per week that you do not have 1 inch of rainfall. Again, that's 5 gallons per week that you do not have 1 inch of rainfall. That's critical. But always make sure that you water and saturate the soil the first time that you plant the tree. Also, if you have dogs or kids, or if you're in a high traffic area, you might want to put something around the tree. Now, a tree this small does not need to be staked, but you will definitely want to put some kind of protection around it to keep children or animals or people from pulling it down or vandalizing it or hurting it in any way, because it's so exposed and so small. So that's how to plant a bare root tree.